Hi, greetings, fellow hunters. Warlock at Supernatural Season 1 now continues on with the episode Dead Man's Blood. A man in Colorado, an old man, Denny Elkins, sits scribbling in his journal, drinking Jack in a bar. A group of people enter and catch Elkins' attention. After leaving the bar in a hurry, Elkins is confronted by the woman leading the group he saw earlier who was wearing a leather jacket. To defend himself, Elkins attempts to load an old 5-shot Colt. However, after a struggle, he is murdered. In a diner somewhere in Nebraska, Sam and Dean are looking over news stories for a job when they read about Elkins' death. Dean recognizes the name from John Winchester's journal and they head west. Arriving at Elkins' cabin, the boys find it ransacked in a chaos, but in the darkness, they are being watched. Amongst the wreckage, Dean finds not only a journal, a lot like their father's, but also a message. A combination to a post office box. A mail drop, just the way their father does it. Opening the postbox, they find a letter addressed to J.W. They are startled by the surprised appearance of John Winchester, their father. Reading the letter, he realizes that Elkins had been holding out on him about a legendary gun, a gun made by Samuel Colt in 1835. The boys realize that whatever attacked Elkins has taken the gun. John tells them it's vampires, and they will hunt them together. As Sam and Dean sleep, John listens to a police scanner. He hears of an abandoned car left by a young couple after making a 911 call. Rousing the boys, they take off to investigate. Sam questions John, but John just asks Sam to follow him. When they reach the location of the abandoned car, Sam is brawling at John's dominating attitude and is constantly questioning his father's orders. Dean is frustrated by the recurring old arguments that drove the family apart. Meanwhile, back at the vampire nest, Kate presents her gift from Elkins to her mate, Luther. Horrified that she killed the old man, even if it was to avenge his family, he states, revenge isn't worth much if he ends up dead. He then recognizes the gun. Another conference between Sam and John exposes the still seething anger existing between them. However, during their trek in the vampire family, John tells about vampires and they can only be killed by beheading. After a moment, seemingly reluctant, he shows them the details of what makes the cult so special when he needs it. Supposedly, it can kill anything, which interests him greatly as it could be used to kill the demon and avenge Mary Winchester. While bringing together to attack the nest and look for the cult, they discover before John can grab the gun and end up running for their lives. John has an alternative plan and orders Dean to a funeral home to obtain dead man's blood, a poison of vampires. While he's gone, Sam and John talk, mending fences in the process. They use the dead man's blood to catch Kate in order to draw out Luther. John's plan is to trade her for the cult. Once again, the Winchesters clash over John's plan to exclude the boys from his final game plan, insisting they leave to keep them safe. When Luther and his vampires discover John and Kate and parley for the cult, Sam and Dean invade the nest, killing the vampire left on watch and freeing the captives. John's plan is foiled and he is knocked out by Luther. However, before Luther can kill him, Sam and Dean attack, having ignored their father's orders to stay away. They take down the other vampires and distract Luther, allowing John to grab the cult and kill Luther by shooting him in the head. The gun works. It can kill supernatural beings with a bullet. Finally seeing the sense of the boys' argument, John agrees that now they have the cult, they will hunt the demon together. Yeah, that's a good plan. So anyway, let's take a look at some continuity surrounding this episode. This is the first appearance of Daniel Elkins. John Winchester previously appeared in Something Wicked. And now finally, let's look at some trivia surrounding this episode. Once again, the history between Sam and John and their falling out arises. And Dean finds himself in the middle yet again, playing the voice of reason. Sarah Blake is mentioned, Sam's love interest from Providence. The cult makes its first appearance in this series. It is of interest to the Winchesters as it provides a means to kill the demon. The Latin passage just on the barrel, Non tembio mala, translates into English, I will fear no evil. This is a reference to Psalm 23:4. I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. The cult is supposed to kill any supernatural creatures. However, it's later revealed that there are 5 things it can't kill, one being Lucifer. It is revealed that vampires in the series do not fear sunlight nor crosses, and that stakes through the heart do nothing. The only way to kill them is by beheading. Dead Man's Blood, the title of the episode, is also like a poison to vampires. In the CW's official summary, Jeffrey Dean Morgan is not credited as a guest star. Jenny, one of the two vampires to escape, resurfaces in Carry On, where she is killed by Sam. So overall, I think this is a pretty good episode, and the fact that it introduces the cult is very significant, as we'll see in later seasons. So yeah. So overall, I give Dead Man's Blood 4 Angel Blades out of 5. Well, anyway, tune in tomorrow as we take a look at the penultimate episode of Season 1, Salvation. So, until then, carry on, my wayward sons and daughters.